Boom! We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever you may be, and week, wherever you may be, however you may be listening. There was some pretty big news today, and I'm going to try and dive into this very quickly. The Big Ten and ESPN decided to end talks or end negotiations when it came down to the TV rights deal. And the Big Ten, I know this as a longtime Iowa Hawkeye fan and Big Ten sports fan, has had a relationship with ESPN for a long time. Now, quite frankly, there's a ton of meat on this bone to get to. I mean, there's the aspect with this with regards to streaming versus network television. And, I would say that this all started probably 3 or 4, maybe even 6 years ago with a lot of these companies or sports, whatever, partnering with streaming platforms. And you even see some of these networks developing some streaming platforms. The way that it used to be, the best way for me to put it, the way that it used to be is going away. The simple fact is that while the average sports fan in America is at least over the age of 25, I mean, I know this with my YouTube channel. I would say a majority of you guys, the subscribers, the fans, are above the age of 30. So sports, there is a certain age range and demographic that watches sports. As far as television goes, a lot of people simply do not watch network television. They stream, they have Netflix, they have Fubo, they have PlayStation Watch TV, they have Amazon Prime. And so this is where all of this really does get very, very interesting. The other component that is, I think, very important to note with all of this is that the top two leagues right now, when it comes to college sports, are the Big Ten and the SEC. I would say that as a whole, with multiple sports, basketball, football, all these other sports, I would say the Big Ten is the top league in the country. And so these TV rights are coveted. Now, as far as the TV rights deal here with ESPN, I think most of the negotiations, and quite frankly, with every league, have to do with football, because football is the major moneymaker. Most other sports lose money. Football is the only sport that makes money. And even more specifically, football at Power 5 schools are usually the only schools that actually make money on sports. So you have the long history with ESPN and the Big Ten. You have streaming. You have ESPN losing a huge subscriber base, aka losing a ton of money. And, they had to be tactful with this. They just did not have the money to throw around like they used to. And from the Big Ten, they, if you're Big Ten commissioner, you want to have your games, your schools televised by as many networks as possible, break it up into a bunch of little pieces so that each network focuses and puts a lot of promotion into each one of the games that they get within your conference. When it's just ESPN and you have a sole owner of the rights of your product, they promote the product, but they may not promote it as much because they have it on a bigger scale. Whereas when you only have 1-2 games, it's going to be the end all be all for you to make sure that that product looks good, that it's promoted, that a lot of people come and watch that game, so on and so forth. Now, I think Clay has been spot on with a lot of this for a long time, so I'm going to let him explain a little bit of this. But the nuts and the nuts and bolts of this are very, very simple. The Big Ten and ESPN will no longer be partners. The Big Ten has split up into having some of their games. I would say most of their games, what you need to know is that most of the games will be televised by Fox FS1, Fox, with some of the other games being televised by NBC, CBS, and of course, the Big Ten Network. That is the main thing that you need to know. ESPN still has the SEC and the ACC, but as far as the Big Ten goes, if you are a Big Ten sports fan, the number one thing that matters is where you can watch the game, and it's CBS, NBC, Fox Sports, FS1, and of course the Big Ten Network. Now, I'm curious to know, do you still need to have ESPN, or excuse me, in order to watch the Big Ten Network, do you still need to have ESPN? I know in the past that I got a subscription to the Big Ten Network online and watch games online, and I paid for that separately outside of the ESPN stuff. So, who knows with that, but that is the primary place that you can watch Big Ten games here moving forward. Let's listen to a little bit of what Clay has to say here. Now, I will say, I am not a huge fan of ESPN. So from that angle, for me personally, as a Big Ten fan, it's okay. I can finally get rid of ESPN. Okay. But on the flip side, I'm a little bit concerned that it's going to be more difficult to watch my favorite team, the Iowa Hawkeyes, play weekend out. Hopefully all of their games will be televised, and I can look it up, or we can look it up beforehand and set it up. But it's hard with ESPN. You could just get the bundle for ESPN and watch all the games that you needed to watch through ESPN. Whereas now with it being on CBS, NBC, all that stuff, I mean, those channels are free. So I'm not anticipating a huge problem here, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as before with all the games being televised by ESPN. You better believe that Iowa will not be getting College Game Day for a while, folks. All right, guys, I'm going to stop it there. I don't want to do too much more content of Clay's here. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What does this mean for you as the fan? I really am curious. Do a lot of you even tune in anymore, or do you really care that much? Do you spend a lot of money on this? I think a lot of people simply are not willing to pay the extra in order to just watch every single game of their favorite team. I am, because I am an avid Iowa Hawkeye fan. But I can see how others would not be down to do that. So let me know what you guys think of all of this in the comment section. Like, comment, share. You know the drill. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are doing phenomenally on this channel. I couldn't be here without you guys. You guys are really the best fans in the country. Last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy, Willow. In facts or feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.